I'm in Mexico City. I came here many years ago, at least 10 years ago, to retire. A lot of people say, what, Mexico City to retire? Yes, surprisingly, it's a great city in which to retire. And there are many reasons why it's a good city. The number one reason I can think of that I like very much is the weather. Mexico City, spring-like weather year-round. And mostly that's because of its altitude. It's about close to 10,000 feet. And so the temperature ranges from about 82, maybe in the summertime, to a low of 40. But those are extremes. Normally, it's a very comfortable temperature year-round. So Mexico City has other advantages I like. It's a pretty city. Where I live is especially a good area to live. It's become the new uh, center of the city. The old center, which was established by the Mexicans or by the Spanish, uh, is a great tourist attraction, but here this is sort of the commercial center of Mexico City. In the last 10 years since I've been here, they have built numerous skyscrapers. And this city is just packed with people during the day. And these skyscrapers are not all filled. I think that Mexico City will become the uh, trade center or commercial center of all Latin America. It's full of parks. Where I am, there's a large boulevard of about total maybe 10, 12 lanes wide, but much of that is consists of a park. And so you go out and sit on by the Reforma, which is the name of the main city, the main street, and you're sitting among trees, palm trees, and so forth, with lots of grass and various plants all around you. And if you go 3 blocks, then you're in Chapultepec Park, which is a large wooded area, a park, much bigger than the park in New York City, the Central Park. Another great advantage of living as a retired person in Mexico City is the exchange rate of the dollar if you happen to be an American. At present, it's about 18 pesos to the dollar, which is a good exchange rate. As a comparison, let's say that if you go to McDonald's and you get the normal meal, hamburgers, Coke, and fries, it'd run about 77 pesos. And compare that, if you take the exchange rate, 77 becomes somewhere around 36 or 37 pesos in real money, because the exchange rate is about double. And so you see 35, that's about $3.50 for a hamburger here, for a meal, which in the United States I think would be more or less about $7 or $8. So the exchange rate is very good for retired people because it expands your amount of money you have to spend. And if you're on Social Security, as I am, you don't get much money, and that is really a good deal. The other thing is transportation. All transportation, public transportation in the city is free. That includes the subway, that includes the buses, that includes what they call a metro bus, that is like a subway but on the surface of the street. And if you go inner city, you get 50% discount. And for me, that was a few years ago, $100 to get to the United States. So the public transportation is cheap. And then there's the other thing, medical care. There is a national medical care here in Mexico. I buy it every year. This year it cost me around 8,000 pesos. And if you put that in American money, that's about $400. And that includes hospital, doctor, medicine, all exams. Everything that goes for medical care is in that price. The medical care is very good, especially the surgery. I've had 2 surgeries here, one for prostate, one for a rupture, and it was very good. And most of the doctors speak English, especially the surgeons, so it's not bad. But not all the doctors speak English, and so you have to rely on your Spanish. But I have a doctor who speaks English, so it's okay. And there's many other advantages in living in the city of Mexico. Remember that it's a city of at least 20 million people. Now myself, I have a business. I teach English, and I make a good living from the English, from the earnings of the English. The taxi cabs are very reasonable, much cheaper than they are in the United States. Most of the places I go to maybe cost me 30 pesos. So you put that into real money, American money, that's about $1.50 to go to most places I need to go in this area. And then there is Uber, and Uber is even better. It's cheaper and it's more convenient. The taxi will come right to your house and take you wherever you want to go. And they are well programmed. They have maps that shows you how to get to where you want, so you don't have to know. Many of the taxi drivers here don't know how to get around the city. It's a big city. And so you need something like the GFI in order to get yourself to the proper places in Mexico. I would highly recommend it. Before I lived in Pataca, and I lived in Oaxaca, and taxis are a little more expensive. Public transportation is no discount, but it's a smaller city. But I recommend Mexico City as a place to retire.